Hi, third grade. It's Mrs. Kudrick, obviously. I think I've got it, thanks. It's Monday night and I'm taping our video now for tomorrow because right now it's not raining and it's gonna rain tomorrow. And I wanna show you a few things that we're gonna be starting with our weather unit. So our science kit, the last one, was supposed to be the planets and solar system, which we've gotten partway through, and also weather, which is so much fun when we can do it together outside in the courtyard. But since that is not possible, and I can't give you each one of these instruments that we're going to be using, I will, I guess, videotape myself doing this a couple times a week so you can at least see how it works. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the precipitation gauge, which I'm going to put in my yard tonight, and I'm talking fast because it's going to get dark. This is the precipitation gauge. I'm going to turn the camera around. And this has on it, on this side here, you can see it says inches. So I'm going to stick this in the ground tonight, and you can see that starting at this bottom number here, there it is. So it's not going to be an inch unless it's filled up all the way to here. This is 1 inch. And if there's less precipitation than that, it will start down here at the 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. And that means how much of an inch is actually there until you get an inch. So 0.1 of an inch is hardly, it's not very much. It's like 1/10 of an inch. So, and because it takes 10 to get all the way to an inch. So when it rains, and it's not going to be snowing anymore, pretty sure, I will come out and I will check our precipitation gauge and we'll see how much precipitation is there, and I'll dump it out and we can start collecting again. On this side, you can see this is our millimeter side. And most of the things we've been doing in third grade have been in millimeters. When we were doing our collections at the sink with water, remember we were doing, it would take 1,000 millimeters to get to, or no, that was milliliters. Anyway, we've been talking about the metric more than the English in science class and in math class. So when we check our precipitation in the morning, I will check both for inches so you can see, and we will also take a reading for millimeters on this side of the precipitation gauge. And I'm going to stick my precipitation gauge right in the ground here by this tree so I can check it after it rains, which is supposed to do tomorrow. This is the stump we feed our birds from, so maybe we'll get some bird shots in here while we're at it. The other thing I want to show you that I dropped, and now I don't know where it went. Where we going? Okay, so I guess I won't show you that. So on your number corner page, oh, it's okay, it's all the way down on our number corner page that nobody had, and I'm so sorry about that. I still don't understand about that. If somebody should email me tomorrow and let me know if you have if you think you have all the pages you're supposed to have. Somebody email me and tell me what page your number corner starts on and what page it goes to, so I make sure I know what you have in your binder. So the number page you were supposed to have done that nobody had, you can't see that because it's too dark, was all about perimeter and area. Boy, this is dark tonight. So if we have a rectangle that looks like this, and I do this to it, oh my, sorry, it's bad tonight. One. Okay, so if we find the perimeter of this shape, I want you to try to remember what perimeter means. And I'm going to give you a second to think. Because remember, there's perimeter and there's area. So try to remember from number corner what perimeter was. Perimeter is the distance around a shape. Man, this does not want to be happy tonight. Hey, Benny, can you give me that other chalk? This isn't working, please.
What?
Give me that other chalk. There's another container of chalk. So what you do for perimeter is you count all the units around. So this side would be 1. This would be another 1. So every single unit, I'm going to just do a little tracing of each side so you can see it.
Where's the...
Look, either on the shoe shelf or on the buffet. So all these sides you have to count. And if you want to trace shapes like this and trace the little linear units, that's completely fine. That's what I do sometimes to help me keep track. So if you go back and you count these linear units, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And actually, because I'm nervous because I'm taping this, I actually forgot as I was coming around this corner wait, did I start with this guy or did I start with this guy? So sometimes, because I've seen third graders do the same thing, what you might want to do if you're making the linear shapes is kind of put a dot where you started. Thank you so much. You can put a dot where you started so you remember where you started. So I'm going to recount those just to make sure I haven't made a mistake on camera for you, which is not out of the question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Thank goodness. So the perimeter of this particular shape is 14 units. Now sometimes they'll tell you if it is a inch, if it's an inch, if it's a centimeter, if it's a meter, if it's a foot, whatever. But if it doesn't say on the actual shape if it's not labeled, you have to just call it units. So this is 14 units. If you wanted to call this or do an equation with this, think for a second what equation you could say about this. Like when I counted this for you, I just counted 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's not an equation. How could I put what I just did, or how could you look at this and say, wait a minute, I can make an equation out of this? And we definitely did this in Number Corner, but it's been a while. So think for a second. And we called this, I'm going to get rid of these linear little counts. I'm going to call this 2, because this is 1, 2 here. And I'm going to erase these and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this particular rectangle was 2 units here, 5 units here. And if it's a rectangle, we know that if this side is 2, this side is also 2. And if this is 5, this is also 5. So there's a couple different ways we could do an equation for this. We could do 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 5 equals 14 units. And that's fine if you want to call it that. We could do, let me get rid of that, put that back up there. We could call this 5 times 2 plus what? We could call that 2 times 2. And that would be another equation that you could write. I'm out of room. Okay, so I'm running out of time. Let me quickly go to the, oops, I just erased the whole shape. Hold on. Guys, this makes me nervous on camera. Hush. Okay, so there's our shape that I just recreated for us again. And it was 2 here and 5 here. So when you talk about the area, can you remember just try really quickly to recall what the difference is between the perimeter, which we're counting all these around, and then what is the area? See if you can remember. If there's a grown-up watching with you, see if you can tell your grown-up if you remember what area is. And if you don't, it's okay. I'm about to tell you. Okay, area is the number of units inside. I'm just going to put area inside. So to figure out how many units are inside this particular shape, we could just go 1, 2, and I'll put a little dots. We started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 units inside of that rectangle. And the formula for area, which I made you memorize for at least 3 quizzes, which hopefully will sound familiar as soon as I say it. Maybe some of you are already thinking it. The normal equation for area, the formula for area is length times width. So you can do this times this. It doesn't really matter if you switch them up. It could be 5 times 2 or 2 times 5. If you wanted to call this equation something else, you could also call it 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Equals 10. Or you could call it 5 plus 5. However you want to call it, that does all work for the area for that particular rectangle. All right, I am going to stop talking. I'm at 9 minutes and 27 seconds, which is the longest video I've ever put you through watching. So I will upload this, and you should be able to have access to this tomorrow morning at my office hours at 9:30. Mrs. Price and I are going to do a call together from Mrs. Kudrick's homeroom tomorrow at 1 o'clock, which I'll be sending you a remind. She will be sending you a remind. And we are going to try Zoom this time because we had such a hard time. So many kids could not get into the classroom Meet on Google. So we're going to try Zoom this time. Please know that you do not have to subscribe to Zoom. You do not have to set up an account. You don't have to do anything at all other than make sure you can pull it up into your search bar on your phone, on your device, on your computer, on your whatever you're using, your grown-ups that is, or you, and make sure you can pull up Zoom, and then whenever it's time for our call tomorrow at 1 o'clock for Mrs. Kudrick's class, Mrs. Price's class will come up with another time for you later. All you do is you go into the Zoom, and on the upper hand right corner there will be a little click you can click that says join meeting, and you'll click that, and I will give you, Mrs. Price will give you a meeting code that you can type in, and there may be a password with it too, but we'll send that to you, and then you should be able to log right into that, or not log in, you should click on it. So all you have to do is click on it, and we'll try and see if Zoom is more successful. So Mrs. Kudrick, Mrs. Price for Mrs. Kudrick's homeroom, Zoom call tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and we'll see if it works better than Meet. And I'm so sorry to have to put you through another guinea pig thing with the online conferencing, but last week was such a disaster for so many kids who couldn't wait to get on, and we couldn't do it. So we're going to try something else this week, and then you can give me your feedback, and then we'll make a decision as to the future, which is our best platform. Is it going to be Zoom? Is it going to be Google Meet? All right, people, I'll stop talking. But sorry about the confusion today. That's your lesson on area and perimeter. And I will talk to you soon. Have a great night.